We are kicking off with WWE as Randy Orton has been off of TV since suffering a pile driver at the hands of Kevin Owens last November, leaving fans curious as to when they'll see him back in the ring. Despite being one of WWE's biggest stars, the Viper was nowhere to be seen during Raw's Netflix debut, but that show secretly teased what's next for Orton. During Tribal Combat, Kevin Owens aided Solo Sikoa in his war with Roman Reigns, and though Sikoa lost, he may repay the favor at the Royal Rumble when Owens challenges Cody Rhodes. The two will battle in a ladder match, and Owens having help could be what causes Orton to return, and he'd take out Sikoa before Cody got the win to retain the title. This would set up Orton vs. Sikoa for WrestleMania 41, giving both men a major program for the Las Vegas PLE that could seriously benefit both men. WrestleVotes reports that Orton's return is set to be very soon, either at or around the Royal Rumble, but it seems his comeback may not come in the men's match, as fans have predicted. In recent years, WWE has consistently booked veterans versus much younger stars like Cody Rhodes versus Carmelo Hayes and John Cena versus Austin Theory, and Orton versus Sikoa could be next. Sources report that this is one of the directions WWE are currently planning for WrestleMania, so fans can look forward to the Viper versus the Street Champion inside Allegiant Stadium. The Royal Rumble is just a few weeks away, and PW Insider reports that WWE is in talks to bring back former winners to make this year's show even bigger. Ric Flair, who won in 1992, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who won the first ever Rumble match in 1988, are being considered, though neither is expected to step back in the ring. The Royal Rumble is one of the most exciting nights of the year, with fans always excited to see who appears, and this year's show could be the most star-studded Rumble PLE in a long time. One name fans know to expect on February 1st in Indianapolis is John Cena, who declared his entry into the men's match on Raw and plans on becoming a 17-time world champion in 2025. Even before he declared for the match, Cena has been considered the favorite of many to win, but there are some reasons that John's victory next month may not be happening. According to PW Insider and other multiple news outlets, Cena is expected to win the Rumble, but it's been reported that WWE Creative has opposed this idea and are currently discussing other ideas for Big Match John. As Cena explained on Raw, he hasn't won a singles match in a long time, and it'd be wrong of him to just demand a title match for WrestleMania, which is why he's in the Rumble. But having Cena lose the Rumble match would allow WWE new avenues to pursue in the story of John's redemption, far more interesting than him being guaranteed a title shot. There's also the matter that Cena has won the match twice already, and there's no shortage of people who'd benefit from having a Rumble win to their name instead of John getting a third win, and it's worth remembering that CM Punk, the only other confirmed entrant, has yet to win the match. Some backstage have also pointed out that Cena winning the Rumble would make him appearing at the Elimination Chamber PLE seem pointless if he already has a title shot. The reasoning is that John would have no reason to show up at the PLE in Toronto if he'd already got WrestleMania plans confirmed, but Cena is being promoted for the Elimination Chamber. There's reasons both for and against Cena winning the men's Rumble match, but whatever side you're on, fans will just have to wait until February 1st to know what's the plan for the WWE icon. In a recent report, it was revealed that WWE's top two women's matches for WrestleMania 41 include talent not currently on TV, those stars being Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. Now, WrestleVotes reports that both women are now listed on the internal active roster, and Lynch is set to return to Raw, while Charlotte will be returning to Smackdown. Lynch recently reached a 3-year contract with WWE after her previous deal expired last year, and as previously reported, is set to face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 41. Fans will get to see Lynch back in the ring soon, but they'll also get to see her perform outside of wrestling as the man is making her name known in acting. Speaking to Chris Van Vliet, Seth Rollins shared that Lynch has been working on a secret project while away from WWE, which is set to come out before her role in Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Lynch's role in the sci-fi franchise will come next year, and in addition to this, she landed a role in Netflix's Happy Gilmore 2, which will also star MJF. While Lynch has yet to return to WWE TV, it's clear she's kept herself busy in a major way, and we'll have to wait and see what this secret project is that she's been working on. Charlotte, on the other hand, has been sidelined since December 2023 due to a severe knee injury, and like Lynch, her return coincides with talks of a major match at WrestleMania 41. It's reported that Charlotte will face Tiffany Stratton for the women's title this April, and with Stratton winning the gold last week, this match seems all but guaranteed. Both Raw and SmackDown are poised to experience major shakeups as WrestleMania draws near, and we'll have to see how WWE reintroduces two of its biggest female superstars. Are you excited at the prospect of Stratton versus Flair and a rematch between Ripley and Lynch? Share your thoughts on these two matches down in the comments. Since CM Punk's return to WWE in 2023, he and Seth Rollins have shared animosity against one another, which culminated with their main event on this week's historic edition of Raw. On the Insight podcast, Rollins addressed his relationship with Punk, sharing that they'd been friends until Punk's departure from WWE in 2014. Punk even served as a mentor to Rollins on the main roster, but Seth explained that after Punk left, he was careful not to push the dynamic between them too hard. Over the years, though, Rollins' attempts to reconnect and gauge Punk's interest in return was met with either silence or Punk criticizing him publicly whenever he could. Rollins explained, "And then even over the years, I reached out to him a couple of times to try to engage and just see where he was at and if he was interested in coming back, and nothing, no response, except whenever he would get a chance, he would just talk as much as he could. And so yeah, I had all this stuff bottled up for over 10 years to finally be able to get out there on a microphone and say it. And it's probably not even articulated the best it can, but there's just so much hatred is a strong word, but it's as close to hatred as you can get. Animosity, resentment, animosity, just like anger." In their main event this week, Rollins was defeated by Punk, though many believe their feud isn't over yet, leaving fans excited to see what's next for the two massive superstars. What do you think of Seth Rollins' attempts to reconnect with CM Punk? Do you think their relationship will evolve now that Punk has returned to WWE? Let us know in the comments. Last year, Braun Strowman made his return from a groin injury by moving from Raw to Smackdown and made a couple of appearances on the Blue brand in December 2024. As of late, though, Strowman has once again vanished from programming, and that's because the former Universal Champion is once again dealing with a health issue. On Instagram, Strowman shared his very rough start to 2025, revealing a bad flu he dealt with last week that left him bedbound in a hotel room for 4 days. For the first 3 of those days, Strowman had a fever of 102 degrees Fahrenheit or higher, and this illness left him with severe body aches as well as a dramatic weight loss. Strowman dropped 36 pounds in 1 week, which is a dangerous amount to lose in such a time frame, but thankfully tests confirmed it was just a bad flu, and he's starting to recover. Braun was frustrated about missing recent shows, but is determined to come back stronger and better than ever after this setback, which is just the latest he plans to overcome. Strowman has yet to hold singles gold since returning to WWE in 2022 and plans to make 2025 his year, even after his worrying health issue. With Monday Night Raw's debut on Netflix, WWE held nothing back in trying to get fans to tune in, and their efforts were certainly successful based on the show's viewing figures. According to a statement from WWE and Netflix, the show drew over 2.6 million viewers in the USA and an impressive 4.9 million viewers globally. This is a dramatic leap from the previous week's 1.596 million viewers, as audiences around the world were interested to see how WWE's flagship show came across on streaming. Well, for fans who want to relive the excitement of this week's show, Raw's debut on Netflix is available on demand, but with a slightly altered experience. The show has been labeled as edited from a previous live stream and contains several significant changes from the original broadcast in Los Angeles. The biggest change is that explicit language has been scrubbed, including The Rock swearing during his promo and the "F*** you solo" chants during the introductions for Tribal Combat. Fans who were live in the Intuit Dome or watched the show live from their homes will have heard this cursing and will likely notice their absence during the on-demand video. Not every hostile crowd response has been cut, though, as the boos aimed at Hulk Hogan are still present, proving that the frosty reception he received proved too big to erase. The uploaded episode is also considerably shorter at 2 hours and 20 minutes, though this is largely due to the removal of commercial breaks to streamline the show for viewing. Previously, the unedited version of the Raw premiere was available on demand, but that video has now been replaced with this sleeker, shorter, swearing-free, polished version. The decision to clean up the Raw premiere is bound to spark debate among fans, with some preferring the shorter, sleeker version, while others will miss the raw, unfiltered moments. Raw's era on Netflix is already making waves, and what do you think about the edits to the show? Share your thoughts and feedback down in the comments section. As of late, there's been plenty of speculation about the future of Malakai Black, with reports this week that the Dutchman is finishing his time with AEW if it hasn't already ended. Black hasn't competed for AEW since November's Full Gear, but this week it was confirmed that he'll be in action tomorrow night for Coastal Championship Wrestling in Tampa. The promotion referred to Black as an AEW star, suggesting he's still with the company for now, but this rare indie appearance has left fans all the more curious about Black's future in the ring. As we mentioned, Malakai Black's time with AEW may be coming to an end, but he's not the only name fans can expect to vanish from AEW without another appearance. Since March 2024, Ricky Starks has been missing from AEW TV, despite once being seen as the next big thing, and there's been a lot of controversy surrounding his hiatus. AEW pulled Starks from all GCW events despite not using him, but Defy recently shared that Starks will face Kenta at their Defy 100th event on February 7th. Starks remains committed to wrestling even if AEW has no plans to use him, and unless things are patched up, fans can expect Starks' time with AEW to end without another appearance. Wardlow is another name fans once had big hopes for, but he's been absent from TV to recover from a knee injury, with his most recent match being at Big Business in March 2024. That match saw Wardlow unsuccessfully challenge Samoa Joe for the AEW World title, a championship that many fans assumed years ago Wardlow would eventually hold. Many had hoped that Wardlow would be the next monster to dominate, with the belief that AEW would capitalize on his momentum to make him AEW's answer to Brock Lesnar or Goldberg. Instead, that momentum quickly fizzled away as AEW has failed to do anything significant with Wardlow since he aligned himself with Adam Cole in late 2023. Fans had hoped that he'd return for World's End 2024 to reunite with Cole, though it was instead Kyle O'Reilly who once again joined sides with his Undisputed Era alum. With talk of WWE being interested in Wardlow, Tony Khan will have to do something big with Mr. Mayhem and soon, or risk losing him in 2025 without Wardlow making another appearance. La Facción Ingobernables, Rush, and Dralistico have been absent from AEW TV since the November 16th collision, reportedly due to both stars having significant heat backstage. Those issues stem from an incident during the November 15th Rampage when LFI faced Alec Price and Richard Holiday, and the two absent stars had made a bad judgment call. Rush and Dralistico got physical with Holiday even when he was being checked on by a medic, which rubbed a lot of people the wrong way backstage. This backstage heat could lead to bigger problems, as if the pair don't give an apology, we may not see either Rush or Dralistico in an AEW ring again. At TNA Final Resolution, Tessa Blanchard made her shocking return to the promotion over 4 years after her controversial exit back in 2020. Blanchard attacked Jordynne Grace upon her return, and on this week's episode of Impact, attacked the Juggernaut again after her match. The chaos that ensued led to TNA's authority Santino Marella stepping in to book a match between the two for TNA Genesis on January 19th, Blanchard's first TNA match back. The bad blood between these two has been boiling for some time, with Grace recently stating that Tessa's actions in 2020 made sure no woman will hold TNA's world title again. The match at Genesis will be huge, especially as reports gather that Grace is set to finish her time with TNA, and we'll have to see who's left standing next weekend. More from AEW as Tony Schiavone was not a part of this week's Dynamite, and some fans speculated that something Schiavone had said had been the reason. At Wrestle Dynasty, New Japan announcer Chris Charlton made anti-AEW comments, an act that has earned him a 2-month suspension from New Japan Pro Wrestling. In a tweet, Schiavone said that, speaking for all of us in AEW, GFY, go f*** yourself, and suggested that Charlton should take a shower once in a while. This tweet was later deleted by Schiavone, though his absence from Dynamite led fans to believe he was being punished, but now the real reason has come to light. On Wrestling Observer Radio, it was shared that a family situation kept Schiavone from Dynamite, and he's expected to be back tomorrow night for Collision. Whether Schiavone's deleted tweet will have any lingering impact on his career, that remains to be seen, but it certainly gave fans plenty to talk about, even if it wasn't the reason for his absence. We've got some sad news to report now, as former WWF and WCW wrestler Black Bart has passed away at the age of 76. This sad news comes after Dutch Mantel shared last month that Bart was battling stage 4 liver cancer and that he'd gone home from the hospital after his insurance had run out. It was also shared at the time that he would be ceasing chemotherapy treatment, and Bart's passing was shared by his wife on Facebook. Bart's in-ring career spanned over 30 years and saw him work with legends like Barry Windham, Jerry Lawler, and the Freebirds, and our thoughts are with his family at this sad time. Back to WWE, and CM Punk's return so far has been a tour de force, with not even last year's injury slowing his momentum, but what does Punk have planned for after wrestling? On the Nightcap podcast, Punk was asked for his retirement plans once his in-ring run is over and is interested in transitioning into a behind-the-scenes role. He said, "No, I do think there's an avenue for me to stay in the business behind the scenes, helping out, but honestly, if you're worth your weight, you're already doing that now. On a football team, a hockey team, a baseball team, there are always veterans who help bring in the new talent, the young guys, and help move things along." Punk sees his career in 3 stages and admitted that he's very much looking forward to the 3rd stage when one is expected to give back to the business. He explained, "To me, there are 3 parts of your career. First, when you start, that's when you learn. The middle part is when you earn, and the third part is return. That's when you give back. I definitely look forward to that third act, giving back to the business that's given me so much. Punk has already been helping out young talent in NXT and was at this week's New Year's Evil event, and Shawn Michaels has said he feels Punk could be his successor running the brand. For now, Punk plans on making 2025 his year in the ring, but with so much experience, don't be surprised to see Punk become a vital name backstage when his days in the ring are over. For some time now, the Von Erichs have been a part of Ring of Honor, where they hold the six-man tag titles with Dustin Rhodes, but now fans will be seeing Ross and Marshall in AEW. On the Clawpod podcast, the pair confirmed that they've signed with AEW, and though they didn't say how long their contract is for, signing the heavy hitters is a huge win for Tony Khan. And we're ending with New Japan. It was in 2020 that Kazuchika Okada introduced the King of Pro Wrestling title, with an official champion being crowned at the end of each year. At the NJPW Road to Tokyo Dome event, Great-O-Khan became the champion, but now the title has been officially retired. The IWGP committee confirmed that at the request of Khan, the championship is being retired, and thanked the fans for their support of the KOPW title since its creation. Now talented New Japan will have one less championship to compete for as the promotion continues to change and evolve in the pro wrestling landscape.